Hello, this is LaserBolt, and welcome to today's video, guys. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to get God Roll armor for your character and to complete the build that you are trying to accomplish. Yesterday I put out a video on how to actually get the legendary pieces to actually make sure you get that, your build's perfectly done. So now you guys know how to get your legendaries. But today I'm actually going to show you guys how to get the God Roll stats on your epics or blues or whatever it is that you're rocking. Theoretically, you're going to want epics, right? Because you're able to have those two mods. But how exactly can you get those God Rolls almost, I wouldn't say guaranteed, but, make it easy and fast to actually obtain this. Today, I'm going to explain to you guys why you want it and why this might be the fastest way and best way to actually accomplishing these. So if all of that sounds like it's something you're definitely interested, a like would be greatly appreciated. Now let's talk about these God Rolls. So before we talk about how to actually get it, let me give you guys a quick overview of exactly what I'm meaning, because there are a lot of new players, and I just want to make sure you guys understand exactly what we're trying to accomplish here. So if you guys notice this is my current build that I'm using right now. My current set has there's three major things that go into account when putting a build together. Number one, and one of the most primary things are the attributes. When I say attributes, I'm referring to the three stats that are showing up right there: anomaly power, status power, and cooldown reduction. That is the bread and butter of the build. That's how you kind of fundamentally make a build. You want to focus on those attributes first, and you want to make sure that every single item piece matches. Now, there's going to be instances, for example, like in this case, where my helmet does not roll with that stats, and that's because legendaries do not change attributes. The attributes are static, and that is the way it's been. I hope they change this sometime in the future, but currently right now, legendaries always drop with the same attribute. Now, with that being said, that means that I have four pieces that I actually need to get the same attributes for. For example, here, anomaly power, status power, cooldown reduction. Of course, there's always going to be one that's more important than the other, but theoretically, you want all four pieces to actually match when it comes to attributes. So let me give you an example right here. So I see it here, these gloves. I have anomaly power, close range damage, and cooldown reduction. This to me is not a God Roll because it's not matching these, right? Anomaly power, status power, cooldown reduction. Even though anomaly power is my main fundamental one, I still would like for all of these to actually match, because that would make me even more powerful, right? It would probably make it a God Roll. So when it comes to armor, like I said, there's three things you want to focus on. First of all, the attributes, where you're number one. Number two is your primary mod. So here, the primary mod is Ground Crush. That is the primary mod. The secondary mod is the one I actually introduced there. But you want to focus on the primary mod because you want to make sure the attributes match, and then you want to make sure that primary mod is actually coinciding with your build. As you guys see right here, I'm going with an Earthquake build. So I want to make sure that when I get armor, the attributes match, and I also get a Earthquake mod in the pretty much in my armor. Because theoretically speaking, I could always swap that level 2 mod to whatever mod I want. But the problem we have right now in the game is when you get blues, they don't always, you have to kind of RNG it, where you have to get the attributes and you also have to get the mods. But I'm going to show you guys a way where you kind of omit that and make it a lot easier, where you just got to farm the attributes and then you got to worry about the mods. And this is actually really dope. So let me show you guys exactly what I mean. What you want to do is, theoretically speaking, you could do it on your main character, but the best and most effective way I found is creating a brand new character, getting him to level 20, and then once you get him to level 20, you want to go ahead and start farming greens. Now, let me tell you guys why greens are so important. Now, I'm going to give you guys where to farm as well, so just make sure you stay tuned to the video. But real quick, so the reason why greens are so important is because greens only drop with the attributes. They do not drop with no mods or nothing like that. So, for example, let's take this blue right here into account. This one has anomaly power, status power, and skill life leech. I actually like that, but I am not using tremor. So that really is not beneficial to me, because theoretically speaking, I would have to rather be lucky to get a level 2 mod that actually rolls that I like, and then swap the primary mod, or, get kind of like, oh, well, I mean, that's a wasted piece because I didn't get a nice level 2 mod and I don't have a primary mod that I like. Now, the good thing about greens is we just have to worry about the stats, right? We just worry about the attributes. So when we visit Sahidi, we're going to go ahead and talk to him, and we're going to actually raise the attributes of this. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean. We'll take a look at the blue real quick. So for the blue piece that we have here, which was this one, I believe, right here, let me show you. If I go to improve rarity, it's going to let me improve the rarity, right? And it's going to say you're going to have to be able to choose one mod. So I'm looking for a mod that gives me damage to bleed. As you see right here, I didn't get any. So I'm kind of like in a bad situation right here because I am not get this piece is no longer useful for me because this primary mod sucks. Now, with the advantage you have with greens is that with greens, when you go to improve rarity, it actually gives you the ability to pick which mod you want. So, for example, if I have an impale build, if I'm running a earthquake build, theoretically speaking, this would give me an option to pick an earthquake mod or a impale mod or a a endless mass mod. That's the advantage you have with greens. You actually are able to select these. Now, the reason why this farm method is so important is because you're going to want to make sure that when you do that, it's going to give you after you make it, after you're happy with the first one and you're happy with the, the stats right here, then you can go ahead and make this one because this one's really wouldn't really matter anymore because these you could always swap, but you're happy with the first one you got, right? So that's the main concept here. So theoretically speaking, the reason why you want to create a new character is because if you actually run it on your main character, you pretty much have your inventory like this, and you want to make sure you get 15 helmets, 15 chest pieces, 15 pants, 15 gloves, 15 boots, because that way it's going to be easier for you guys to, kind of get rid of the ones you don't want and keep the ones you want. So, for example, if I'm going for an earthquake build, I'm just going to be looking for stuff that has anomaly power, a status power, cooldown reduction, or anything that kind of coincides with my build. Exactly where do you farm this? So, if you have a brand new character and you got him to level 20, you're going to want to make sure you go to the following location. So, there's two methods to actually doing this. One's the easier way, and then one is the way I recommend to actually be better. So, the easy way would probably be do the chest farm, what we did in the demo, where we, before we went to Gus, we went into the three chests that are outside of the courtyard. You open up the three chests, look for a green, and then rinse and repeat. The reason I don't like that one is because that has you going, to the lobby very often. So what I would recommend, but it's going to have you actually going through the story a little bit longer than you probably would. You'll probably be like level 23 or by the time you get there. Is this right here the Desolate Fort? Now, the reason why I like the Desolate Fort is because you're able to talk to China, and she has a side mission called the Big Rig or something like that. You pick up that side mission, you run it all the way through, and you're going to get to a section where you have to go down a rope. Now, before you go down the rope, there's going to be like a little kind of bunker or a little a wagon where you're able to walk in and open up a chest, and then you're able to open up the chest and go up the area, and then there's another chest on the top. There's a total of 2 chests. Now, this one always drops greens and blues. It could be a green weapon or a blue weapon. It's either or. So it always drops greens, it always drops blue. Now, the advantage you have on this is that when you actually do this and you open up those 2 chests, you could actually go down the rope and come back up. It's a very short loading screen, and you're able to keep farming those chests over and over. This is by far the fastest method that I found to actually farm, and the one that I would probably recommend to do this because you actually get brains every single time you actually do this. I would suggest if you are a world tier, high world tier, lower it down to 7 or below. That's going to give you a higher probability of getting greens. I lowered mine all the way to level 1, but it does give you a higher probability of getting greens. All you're looking for is the main 3 attributes. So that's the main concept of this farming method. I do hope you guys did find this video helpful and informative. If you did, do me a huge favor, guys. Drop a comment, drop a like. If you have any additional questions, ask them in the comment section down below. I'll try to answer them as quickly as I possibly can. Thank you guys for watching today. Don't forget to check out the other 2 videos that are popping on the screen. If you're still looking for legendary pieces, make sure you guys check out my video on how to farm those specific legendary pieces you might be missing. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.